Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cara's Fast Natural English podcast. This is episode 6, and I've decided to call this episode My Brexit Day. As you may know, or may not know, there was a referendum in my country, the United Kingdom, on membership of the European Union on June the 24th. On June the 24th, no, on June the 23rd, and on June the 24th, we got the result, and the result was that the people of the United Kingdom voted by 52% to 48% to leave the European Union. So this phenomenon of the United Kingdom or Great Britain leaving the European Union was called Brexit in the press. So I wasn't too sure if it was a good idea to talk about politics on this podcast. So what I've decided to do is just tell you the story of what happened to me on the day of Brexit, on the June 24th, if you like, because that was the day that everyone discovered officially the news. So I'm not going to get sort of too political about it. I mean, I'll just let you imagine. I mean, I'm British, and thanks to the European Union, I'm able to live and work in France on a British passport without having French nationality. So, it's something positive in my eyes. And to be honest, I just was not prepared for Brexit, not at all. So on June the 24th, I mean, maybe it was a bit complacent, but I expected to wake up to just, no Brexit, probably a narrow win for the Remain in the European Union, and that's it. But unfortunately, what I woke up to, so on that day, my aim was to get up early because I had an online class in the morning. So, I got up and I have this morning routine which probably isn't very good, in which the first thing I do is look at my phone and generally look at Facebook. So that's a bad habit, but it was kind of justified on the morning of the 24th of June. So I was expecting just to look at, Facebook as usual and just see that we were still in the EU, nothing special. And boom, the first status update that I see is from one of my cousins, and it reads, "Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for." And I thought, oh my God, this is it. We have left the European Union. This is a reference to some of the motives that people had for leaving the EU, which were to do with things like immigration, and regaining sovereignty, or regaining the independence of the country, and that those were people's motivations. And in fact, what's happened since Brexit has been like the pound has crashed, the pound has massively devalued, so there have been these negative consequences. Anyway, so that was the first status update I saw. So I knew in my mind at that point that I was starting to panic. I was like, what's going on? Because I really wasn't prepared for this. And I kind of kept on scrolling through the feed, and I saw, okay, right, Brexit. Okay, this is what's happened. So then so instead of actually getting up, I just was frantically scrolling through Facebook, just trying to find out like what was happening, what was going on, is this official? And obviously it was confirmed. I started looking at the press, the newspapers, articles about what was happening. Obviously, eventually I had to get up. I mean, I still had this online class to actually give. And I saw two things that made me feel kind of a bit better. So one, I saw that David Cameron was the UK's Prime Minister. I saw that he was planning to step down, to resign from his post. And two, I saw, and I think this is interesting, and we'll have to see what happens with this long term. He said he would not invoke Article 50. So if you want to officially leave the European Union, and the UK will be the first country to do that in like 59 years of the EU, you have to do this official thing where you invoke Article 50, and that starts the process for you actually leaving the EU, and it's 2 years of negotiations. So he didn't do that. He said that he would leave that to his successor. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. And since then, nobody wants to invoke this Article 50. so we'll have to see what happens. Okay, so then I logged on for my Skype class, and my student wasn't there, so I was like, "Hey, where are you?" I sent her a text message, and she was like, "Oh, I'm watching the news about Brexit. I'm coming. I'm coming." So she logged on, and then we talked about Brexit. So that was an interesting class, and yeah, like my partner came home for lunch, and we were talking about it because he said he hadn't, he wasn't really prepared for this happening. I mean, he's French, so it doesn't really matter to him, but he very kindly looked into like how I could get French nationality because I might need to get a French passport, um, you know, because of this Brexit issue. Just after lunch, just as he was leaving, I then got a phone call from a journalist from France 3, which is like a television station, a public television channel in France. It actually turned out that this journalist is a husband, the husband of one of my old colleagues. So he wanted, obviously, a British person in our city to talk to about Brexit. But I mean, I just told him he had also tried to contact some other former colleagues of mine at the university, and I said, "Look, I'm kind of in shock today. I can't really believe what's happened. I hadn't prepared myself for this psychologically, so I mean, I can't talk to you today, but maybe we can discuss it another time." So there was that, and then the rest of the day and the rest of that whole weekend, I was really tired because I was just trying to read as much as possible, like in the press and um, online about the vote, about the result, about the implications of this vote, and I was just trying to understand what's going on, what might happen, and um, what to expect. So I am going to the UK this week. So this is Monday today. It won't be Monday when you listen to this, but it's Monday right now. And on the Wednesday of this week, I'm going to the UK. I'm actually going to be in Scotland, so it would be really interesting to speak to my friends and family about this whole Brexit thing and just kind of see what the political mood is in the UK and especially in Scotland. So that was my really really quick summary of my Brexit day without going too much into the details and the politics of it. But that was June the 24th for me. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about that, and I'll see you soon for another podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.